If you've been following me for the last couple years, you know that my space and desk setup is always on the darker, moody side. While I really love the look and aesthetic of a darker setup, I've always admired lighter theme setups whenever I see one on Instagram or YouTube. I know I wanted one, but I just don't want to ruin the entire setup that I've built just to start over again. That's when I got this idea of cleaning up the other desk I had in the living room and have my new setup there. So backstory, we had this space in the living room and we initially didn't know what to do with it. Then my wife asked if she can have a desk on that space, and I said, say no more. So I got a standing desk there, but over time, that desk just accumulated clutter and wasn't being used as a desk at all. Figured that I'll just start this project and create my new setup in that space. I reached out to some of the brands that I have worked with in the past, told them what I was planning, and that I would need some of their stuff to get it going, and they were so excited to be a part of it. I started off with motion gray since I wanted to have a sit-stand desk, but this time with a white frame. And since they're local to me, I just had to drive out to them and grab the frame and the casters, and they also threw in their cable management tray. Assembly of the frame was fairly easy and could be done in less than 30 minutes. This is the same frame that I have on my main desk, which I have been using for roughly 3 years now, so I know for a fact that this one will hold its own too. For the desk itself, I got this tamarind top from Ikea. I just had to drill some screws to this top to attach it to the standing legs frame, and this will be the centerpiece of the entire setup. I didn't go for a plain white desk since I kinda wanted some of that wood textures, and this oak veneer top fits the bill. It is 51 by 27 inches, which is pretty still decent size, not too small and not too big. For context, my desk in my office is 63 by 31 inches, so this one's pretty close. Having casters for my stuff is really a must. I tend to move things around, that's why I prefer to have them on wheels. And these casters that Motion Gray gave rolls nice and smooth all the time. After building a desk and figuring out the outlets that I'll need, I realized that I would need to get a power strip. So went to Canadian Tire real quick, got this one for 30 bucks, which I think is a decent price considering the amount of outlets I get, as well as the added USB ports.
Place the item in the bag.
Now let's get into the accessories and stuff I have on the desk. For charging my phone, I have this Nomad stand in white, of course. Built-wise, this thing is nice, has a nice weight to it, very sturdy, and it doesn't move whenever you take your phone. This only gives me 7.5 watt charging speed, which means it doesn't fast charge my iPhone. That's totally fine for me since if I need to fast charge my phone, I use this Base 1 Max, also from Nomad, which offers 15 watt charging and can also charge my Apple Watch at the same time. Right next to the Base 1 Max is this desk tray from a company called Woodcessories. This is pretty much my catch-all or my valet tray for all the smaller stuff that I don't really have a place for on this desk. I tend to keep a pen and a small notepad here in case I needed to jot down notes in a pinch. Moving on to the monitor, I'm using the same 32-inch LG monitor that I had before. I moved this out here since I'm using a new monitor now for my main setup. More on that in the next video that I'm working on. This LG monitor is perfect for this setup since all I need is a single USB-C cable to hook up my MacBook. That and the power cable are hidden nicely in this ergo stand, which I still believe is one of the best monitor stands out there. Checking out the peripherals, I'm sticking to the trackpad, keyboard, and mouse combo. This is Apple's Magic Trackpad 2, and having a trackpad is sort of a must for me. I love having access to the swipes and gestures for some quick actions, and it is very helpful when working on video timelines too. The keyboard I have here is the Apple Magic Keyboard, the one with a Touch ID. I'm a low-profile keyboard guy, and I was looking for something white to fit this setup, and it came down to two options, this and Logitech's MX Mini, but decided to stick with Apple this time. For the mouse, I went with this Logitech Lift. I was thinking of getting a white MX Master 3 since I've been using a Master 3 for so long, but I figured I wanted something different. I've been intrigued by this form factor since I saw the MX vertical mouse. I also wanted this desk to feel different compared to my main desk, so having a different mouse helps with that. Overall, I find this mouse to be really nice. I like how it kinda molds on my hand, and I don't think I actually need a wrist rest for this at all because of how my hand is placed. If you haven't tried a mouse in this form factor, I suggest you do so. It feels really nice in the hand. All these sit on top of my Orbitkey Desk Mat. This is the slim version in the stone colorway. This is the perfect size for this desk and still gives me the features I get from a bigger size, like this flap where I can hide documents to keep any clutter from a desk, as well as this dedicated space for pens where the magnetic cable organizer sits too. The sort of off-white color looks really nice and ties everything on a desk perfectly. For the desk shelf, I went with this one from Woodcessories too. It fits nicely on the desk, the oak finish and the white legs perfectly match the aesthetic. I really love how the shelf is curved at the edges rather than the traditional rectangular design. It also comes with a decent sized shelf that can hold other stuff like an iPad Pro or even a smaller laptop. Last thing on the desk is this laptop stand, also from Woodcessories. Same as the desk shelf, it comes in oak and white finish. This is where my MacBook sits whenever I work on this desk. I could have gone with a vertical stand where I can have the MacBook in clamshell mode and save some space, but with this, I can use it as a secondary display. Cable management is pretty straightforward. I had a power strip mounted using command strips, and then all the other cables go through the cable management tray that Motion Gray provided. I do wish that the tray would be much bigger though. With the power strip attached, it allows me to only have one cable coming down, which makes everything look nice and neat. I then use this cable management spine to hold the power strip cable, which makes it much cooler in my opinion. Lastly, the chair. I'm using this Nilserik stool from Ikea. I didn't really invest on a chair for this setup since I wouldn't be working long hours here, most likely an hour or two a day if anything, and I want this to be used more as a standing desk, so this one was a perfect choice. Even if I am in sort of sitting or standing position, which is not really standing, this chair does the job. The color matches the entire aesthetic I was going for as well. And that, my friends, is my version for a light or white themed desk setup. It's not perfect, and I feel like there's some changes that needs to be done. Still contemplating if I should use speakers here. At first, I decided not to since it is in the living room, so normally when I go here, AirPods will be my main choice for audio. But overall, I like how it turned out. I also love the fact that I get this natural light coming in since my office doesn't even have any windows at all. And as always, any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll also try to have everything linked in the description. Some of these are affiliate links which helps this channel at no additional cost to you should you decide to buy using my links, so thank you for that. And thank you as well if you made it this far. I'll see you guys on the next one.